Hey there, welcome to Rahulsdotnet. In today's video, we are going to learn about middleware in ASP.NET Core. So first of all, what is middleware? So middleware is a software that assembled into an application pipeline to handle request and response. In other words, we can say that middleware is a component or a class that is executed on every request in ASP.NET Core. Okay, so this contain a component. So middleware has the component. Okay, so these components are responsible for whether to pass the request to the next pipeline in the application pipeline. So here we can see there are three middleware are there, middleware 1, 2 and 3, and it have the next method. So here basically middleware 1 is executing its logic before passing the request delegate to the next middleware, and so this one is the next middleware. We are calling the next middleware with the help of next. Okay, and after that middleware 2 and then middleware 3. So these are responsible for passing the request to the next component in the pipeline and can perform work before and after the next component in the pipeline. So this is the logic before passing the delegate before passing the request delegate to the next middleware, and this is the after passing the request, we can say. Okay, so request delegates are used. So basically request delegates are used to build the request pipeline, and the request delegate handle each HTTP request and response. So if we'll go to the code and we'll try to search what is request. So here if you'll see, so I have written request delegate, and if we'll go to the definition of that, so this one is the delegate. So request delegate is the delegate and have the parameter of HTTP context. Okay. So this request delegate we are using to build the request pipeline. Okay. How this middleware are executed in the pipeline. So here we can see this one is the middleware 1. Okay, so this is the middleware 1. Middleware 1, it will perform its logic and then call next middleware. Okay, then after that next middleware will be invoked, the middleware 2 will be invoked. This will also perform its logic and it will call the next middleware. This is the middleware 2 will perform its logic and call the next middleware. After that middleware 3 will be executed, will be called, and this is the middleware 3. Middleware 3 execute its logic, and the middleware 3 is the last middleware. So the last middleware also called as a terminal middleware. So as it's not calling another other middleware. Okay, so here we can see only the logic has written and then more logic like before and after, and so this logic will execute and again it will send the response back to the middleware 2. So this one will be the middleware 3 response. Okay, and once middleware 3 is executed, then it will pass those response to the middleware 2. Middleware 2 perform any additional operation if it's required, and then again it will pass those response to the middleware 1. Okay, and the final response will be sent back to the user. Okay, so these are the steps are performed while executing the middleware in the ASP.NET Core. Okay, so when we want to create any middleware, so basically we are using the request delegate, and request delegates are used to build the request pipeline. Okay, and the request delegate handle each HTTP request, and request delegate can be configured. So if you want to configure request delegate, so how we can configure? So basically we can use run map and use extension method. Okay, So we'll see all these things one by one. So we can, first one is the run method. This is also called as a terminal. Okay, terminal middleware, because whenever we'll add any we'll configure any middleware using the run method, so after that other middleware won't be executed, so it will called as a terminal middleware. Okay, then after that use method, and the third one is the map method. So map basically it will, so map extensions are used as a convention for branching the pipeline. Okay, so for branching the pipeline, we are using the map method. So map method will basically like will use based on like path matching or pattern matching, we can say. So based on the path, if the path is matched, then it will call that middleware. And this one is also like a terminal run. So after that, once the map is matched and then that middleware is executed, after that no middleware will be executed. So this one is also considered as a terminal middleware. Okay, that is fine. And then after that map, we have and again we have the MapWhen. So MapWhen also it provides the MapWhen. So here we can pass the predicate, and based on the if that condition is true, so if condition is true, then those middleware will execute, or else it won't execute. Okay, so this is the MapWhen. Fourth one is the MapWhen. Okay, so first of all, we'll below this image we can see. So this is the ASP.NET Core request processing. Okay, so how the request is processed in the ASP.NET Core. So first of all, user hits the any URL in the browser, and then it will come to the uh, web server. Web server can be IIS, Apache, and other web server. Okay, after that .NET Core CLR will be it will take care of the those request, and Kestrel will be the default web server for ASP.NET Core. Okay, so these request will come through the IIS.NET CLR Kestrel, and then after that program.cs is the entry point. Okay, after that middleware request pipeline will be executed. Okay, so whatever middleware will create, so this will execute here. Okay, and after once the middleware is executed, then it will execute other like code in our application, and then it will return back the response to the HTTP response. So this is the basically steps that will use for executing the middleware. So first of all, IIS, then .NET CLR, Kestrel, then program.cs as an entry point, and then middleware request pipeline. Okay, so till this, I guess it's fine. Okay, now we'll move to the ordering, like how the ordering is followed to uh, .NET is already providing many built-in middlewares. Okay, so these are some of the built-in middlewares and their order of execution. So how the middleware is executed. Okay, so here we can see these are the request is coming, and once the request is coming from the browser or user, so it will call the exception handler. So exception handler middleware is kept on top of all the middlewares, because if any one of the exception is occur, so it can handle. Okay, after that, it's called HSTS, HTTP redirection, static files, routing, CORS, authentication, authorization, and then after that, custom middleware will call, and then at last, endpoint, MVC endpoint middleware will call, which will be responsible for calling the action filter and other filters in MVC. Yeah, that's it for today. In the next video, we'll deep dive into the program and we'll see how we can create the middleware by using the use, run, map, and MapWhen extension method along with the classes. Thanks for watching this video. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you'll get notified for the upcoming videos.